it's Desiree here from I Can You Can Vegan, and I have my husband here.
What's up?
He's gonna help me out with a little Atlas Monroe review today, y'all. If you are new to Atlas Monroe, they've been around for a little bit. They were on Shark Tank and have since just kind of taken off. They have widened their product.
All this is them? I thought it was just the chicken.
No, it's all them. All this stuff is from Atlas Monroe. So yeah, like I think they initially started off with just chicken, and they have since come up with different kinds of chicken. They have bacon, they have ribs. They have some other stuff too that I just don't. Dang, did I buy that stuff? We might have to do a part 2 because I don't think this is everything that I bought, y'all. But anyway, so they have just widened their product variety, and I am very intrigued and wanted to do a little taste test here so we can, just get a feel for some of their new offerings and see if it's actually good. I cooked all this stuff just a few minutes ago, and y'all, everything smells amazing.
It is.
It smells really, really good. Especially, I'm most excited about these barbecue ribs.
I'm not, but I'm gonna try them. I'm a rib guy, and so I'm gonna be honest when I taste it.
All right. So let me do a little rundown of everything that we have. Give me just a second. All right, so when you order stuff from Atlas Monroe, it comes in these little bags here. These are the vegan extra crispy fried chicken strips, which are these little babies right here. As you can see, they are very meaty, lots of extra crisp on them. So really excited to try those. And then we also have the vegan extra crispy fried chicken. I think these are supposed to be like the chicken thighs that most people use for sandwiches and stuff. So they look like this. They are about the size of my palm. So they're a really good size, perfect for like a chicken sandwich. Then we have Atlas Monroe's 2.0 white meat extra crispy chicken strips, mild. These are the 2.0s right here, and I can already kind of feel a difference, I think. But anyway, I'm very excited to try those. And then we have the Atlas Monroe 2.0 white meat extra crispy garlic and Parmesan popcorn chicken. And those are these babies right here. Then we have the Applewood barbecue ribs and the bacon. I think we can go ahead and dig in. Here is your plate without further ado. I do want to mention one thing. Atlas Monroe, if you're watching, I love you. Oh yeah, and it's a Black-owned business, so really wanted to support. But y'all, can you consider, some bags that have like little Ziploc things on it? Because I had to just like scotch tape these down because I wasn't gonna eat all of this in one day. Daryl, do you have a preference on where you want to start first?
Let's go ahead and get the ribs out the way.
Okay, let's see y'all. Ooh, they're sticky. So the directions said to pan fry them and then put them and then cook them in the barbecue sauce that they came with.
Just straight. Your dad, my father-in-law, told me that when you make ribs or any meat, the sauce can do the job if the meat doesn't. And so these are kind of heavily sauced. Did you sauce these? Okay. They're a little heavily sauced. I would like to see what it tastes like without the sauce, but being that these, you're not cooking actual meat, it's not the same thing. Like that principle may not apply. So they're straight.
And you know what? I'm glad you said that. Because when I was putting the sauce on it, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, should I put sauce on it? But I was like, you know what? Because these aren't real meat, like you said, I don't think that rule applies. Because, with real meat, it actually has its own flavor. And not to say that these don't, but
it's supposed to take on the flavor of the sauce.
Exactly. I think maybe a little bit. But I will say this, when I did take them out the package, I could smell like the Applewood kind of flavor going on. So maybe next time I cook it, I'll just, you know, break off a little piece.
No, that's true.
But yeah, I really like them. I think the sauce is really hitting too.
Oh, yeah, sauce is great.
The sauce is really good.
Yeah.
Y'all, them things are good. Scale of 1 to 10.
I'll give it a 7. Understand that the scale is not comparing it to actual meat.
No, don't compare it to actual meat. Just
so
what
I'll
do you
give
think
a
of it?
7. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I was thinking like a nice 8.5.
I mean, I've had better meat substitutes. It was good though. It was good. 7
I
is
really
good.
like it, y'all.
Like what's up with our society having to get a 10 on everything? I think it's these millennials and
There's nobody said nothing about no
participation
10.
awards, man. Y'all
Nobody said anything about... All right, we're moving on. So next up is the garlic and Parmesan little chicken bites. Y'all, I'm really excited about these.
You don't talk, I ain't gonna taste it. Go ahead. Come on.
I'm really excited about these because it seems like they have a really nice flavor. But I will say this. I put them in the air fryer and it says to add the garlic Parmesan thing afterwards. My only gripe is that I wasn't really sure how to get the Parmesan stuff to stick to the chicken. So I just had to kind of like press it down in there. I sprayed it with some oil and kind of pressed it so that it would kind of stay. But that's my only thing, but let's see. You can definitely taste the garlic and Parmesan thing.
Yeah, it's on. Yeah.
Daryl is not a huge garlic person.
Nope.
I forgot that.
So, I mean, I think that the texture of the chicken is good, like good crunchiness. You know,
the garlic is very present.
Oh yeah, very, very.
But I love garlic, so this is not a deal breaker for me.
I'll give it, I mean, garlic aside, just texture of the food, the chicken, all that, I'll give that an 8. I'll give it a higher rating than the ribs.
The flavor is great. I think the meat substitute is fantastic and the garlic Parmesan is doing its thing. It's just a little dry going down, so I just wish that there was like another element to it to really set it off and kind of balance out the dryness a little bit. But the flavor is great. All right,
Try so
roll-ups. Yo, he really tried it. I believe he's referring to the bacon. I think this is made out of rice paper, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to double check, but I put this in the air fryer for 2 to 3 minutes as it said. Because it's so thin, when you put it in the air fryer, it kind of shrivels up on itself. And so when I took it out initially, some pieces were super crispy and other pieces were still like a little limp and soggy looking. But as it dried, as it dried after it finished cooking, the whole thing began to crisp up. Oh. I will be honest with you, I'm not a huge bacon person. Before I stopped eating meat, I was never a bacon person as it is. So I'm really happy to have Daryl here because he does like bacon to kind of tell me if this is a win or not. So let's taste it.
Okay. Flavor, spot on. For a minute. A little aftertaste. But beginning flavor, spot on. Too chewy for me. Too salty for me.
It is a little salty.
But the initial taste was it for me. And then we got some challenges. It is like a fruit roll for my teeth right now.
Yeah. It is getting stuck in my teeth a little bit.
Yeah.
But I guess it does. I mean, Lord, y'all, I don't know the last time I had some bacon. So yeah, I don't really have much to compare this to. But I do think that it does remind me of bacon. But yeah, it is a little salty, and it does kind of get stuck in your teeth just slightly. But the flavor is there. I think it definitely has a nice crunch to it. It does say that the best way to cook this is to deep fry it, but y'all, I ain't really a deep frying kind of person, so I just went with the air fry instructions. So I wonder if it would taste better texture-wise if it was actually deep fried, because it's bacony. So these, I think, are the original chicken breast thigh things that you would use for a sandwich. So let's break it apart here. Okay. You want that piece? As you can see, it's super, super, super crispy. Let me give it a taste. Let me taste it. What you think?
Flavor's good. Nice little spice to it. Bojangles, y'all might want to holler at us, Monroe, on this.
Hello?
Like, Bojangles, vegan market is there. This has the right spices in it to make for a damn good Bojangles chicken biscuit. I mean, like, that's it right there.
Ooh, y'all. Ooh, it's got a little, like, the kick. I feel like I have to say this because I've said it on social media, so I don't want people to think I'm being funny acting or nothing. But I've done an Alice Monroe review a few years ago when Alice Monroe like first started shipping to customers. So I'll link that if you are curious about that review. I did it with one of my friends. And we were really, really impressed with it. We loved it. If you live in the South and are familiar with Bojangles, it has always been the move. I mean, obviously not so much for me anymore, but it is fantastic. They have wonderful chicken biscuits, or Cajun filet biscuits is what they call them. But anyway, I did a review and me and my friend loved it. We were obsessed. I ordered them maybe a year or two ago and it just wasn't the same. I don't know what happened, if it was a quality control thing, I have no idea. But it was not the same experience that I had initially. So when I ordered this bunch, I was just really hoping and praying that it would bring me back to, you know, how I thought it tasted from my first go round with it. And this is spot on. Before, with my prior experience, it was kind of mushy, so it didn't really taste like chicken. But this is perfect. Like, this is so good. Alice Monroe.
Yeah, that's it.
You the real MVP. I knew y'all could do it.
Money maker
I
right
knew
there.
you could do it. Let's try. Do you want to try the 2.0 chicken strips or the original?
Let's go with the original so I have something to compare it to when I try the 2.0s.
Okay. So, here we go. I'm gonna get some of that barbecue sauce from the ribs that was left over. With the barbecue sauce, unmatched. I think it tastes pretty similar to the thigh. With the sauce though, ooh wee.
I'm always a sauce person. I like the food without it most of the time.
We tried the original 2.0 chicken strips and we did like them. The only thing was that, you know, they changed the seasoning on them. I think, you know, Alice Monroe was getting a lot of comments about how spicy the originals were. So they did something about it. They listened to their customers and they came out with a version that is not spicy at all. Very, very, very mild. And you can definitely taste it in the flavor.
Hold it bland.
No,
It's not spicy.
bland. It's just not spicy. Yeah, I think it would pair really, really, really well with a I think it needs a little bit of help. It needs some help. It needs some like barbecue sauce, some Polynesian sauce, some vegan honey mustard or something. I would say there needs to be something to accompany it.
If you're comparing them, right? You're in the South, then compare. If you like Bojangles more like a hotter spice to a more to a different flavor like a Chick-fil-A, right? That's where I would say if you're trying something and you used to not be vegan and you're comparing it to what you might have liked then to now, that's a good comparison.
Yeah, the original one is definitely more like Bojangles, and the 2.0 version would be more like Chick-fil-A, if you will. Not necessarily like texture, just as far as seasonings go, just seasoning wise. I know that y'all love the numbers, so we are going to just go through everything and just give you some numbers, some final numbers on what we thought of everything. So I know we started it initially with the vegan ribs. Daryl thought that they were a 7. I'm giving them like an 8.5, 9. I thought that the flavor was on point. I definitely think that if they added some jackfruit to it, it would definitely help out with the texture. But the texture by itself is good. I think that just jackfruit would add another element of it to make you really feel like you're eating barbecue ribs. Because, you know, ribs are kind of like, you know, stringy and more meaty looking. And these on the inside, they're just, I don't know. It just looks like
Cornbread.
Something. You be the judge. It doesn't look like a barbecue rib does on the inside. It tastes great. The flavor is on point. I think the texture is great. But I think the adding jackfruit to it would add like another element of meat. Let's move on to the Parmesan garlic bites. We both thought that they were great. So Daryl, what would you give it?
Garlic aside, which it was heavily garlicked.
Mm-hmm.
I give it like an 8, you know, for the purpose of the chicken.
Yeah.
The fried, the texture, all of that. The Parmesan even, right? It's straight. But
yeah.
I can't get with garlic.
Not a garlic person.
I'm a vampire.
He's a vampire. I would say it's definitely more like a 7 for me. I thought the texture was on point and it did have good flavor. But like I was saying earlier, I do wish that there was some kind of saucy element that went in between the chicken and the Parmesan, because going down they just are a little dry. Next we had the vegan bacon. What would you give it?
4.
I thought that he would be a little more generous than that.
Why would you think that? You're not married to me?
Y'all remember he said that it was good. He said it was good.
No, I said it was good for the first 3 seconds. Rewind, y'all. Go ahead and rewind. Flavor, spot on. For a minute. A little aftertaste. But beginning flavor, spot on. Too chewy for me. Too salty for me.
Like I said, I do think it does remind me of bacon. Even though I haven't eaten it in the month of Sundays, it does remind me of bacon. But it is a little salty. I did like that it's like, you know, crispy. Folks like crispy bacon, that's a thing. But I didn't care for the way it just kind of gets stuck in your teeth a little bit. But I do think that it would be fantastic on like a sandwich. So imagine if you had like your vegan chicken thighs or whatever between some piece of bread, and you got some mayo, some lettuce and tomato, and then you put some of the bacon on top of it. I think it would be really good. I think Daryl mentioned earlier a BLT. It would be really good on, but just by itself, not so much, but I do think it could be really, really good as a sandwich. So for the bacon, I would give it like a 7, but that's probably only because I don't really care for bacon as it is. Next, we have the chicken thighs, the original chicken thighs. I thought that these were fantastic. Definitely giving them a 9. What do you think? We're rating these together.
Yeah. So
a 9. A 9 for both of them. The chicken strips, the original chicken strips, and the chicken thighs.
Same texture,
flavor, all that.
There's different purposes, I think, for like what you're going to use it for.
Pretty much.
Dipping it or putting it on a sandwich.
Pretty much. And last but not least, we have the vegan 2.0 chicken strips, which, like we said, we thought that they were good, but just, you know, not a whole lot of bowl seasoning.
It was very,
that was good, right?
What's her name? The vice president. Really calm, like political. Like, it was distinguished way to put that.
I'm not mad at that.
Okay.
I'll take that. Okay. If I had to give it a number, I would definitely give it like an 8. I think the texture was really good. You can tell the texture difference from the 2.0 to the original ones. They're a little bit more meaty. I would say it's like white meat and dark meat a little bit.
I think she's reaching
He
there.
thinks it's a stretch. He thinks it's a stretch.
I will say that, like, 8 is a solid number for that for me. Because for the purpose that it serves, you do a damn good job.
Yes.
You're expanding your market while still remaining true to what you want.
Exactly, because you gotta listen to your customers at the end of the day. So I'm not mad at them for doing that and keeping everybody happy. I think that we're all done here. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We really appreciate you hanging out with us for a little while. Definitely check out my husband's podcast, Narratives Over Wine and Whiskey. If you are curious, you can check out my initial review on Atlas Monroe that I posted a few years ago. And check out some of the other reviews that me and Daryl have done together. We did one on Miyoko's, the vegan mozzarella cheese, the pourable cheese. We reviewed some other stuff. Go check out some of our other reviews.
Look at all of her stuff. You'll find me in some of them.
Yes.
Boom.
Yes. Easy. There's a whole review section on my channel.
Leave comments. Share stuff.
Please help us grow. Oh, if you have tried any of the Atlas Monroe stuff, please let me know in the comments what you thought about it. Like, are we off on this? Like, are we on the same page? Like, where are we at? Because I think our taste buds are pretty accurate, I think. So yeah, if you have differing opinions, I would love to hear them. I'm very curious to know what other people think about these products. So until next time, we'll see you later. Bye. Peace.